It's my great honor to introduce you all to the next head coach of the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel. Thank you.
And there you have it, the 16th head coach in the history of the New England Patriots franchise, introduced on Monday, just 1 week after moving on from the previous head coach, Robert Kraft, standing in front of the cameras and microphones and introducing Mike Vrabel as the new leader of the team. Nick Coit, Ian Steele, the ABC6 Sports team with you here from Gillette Stadium. And Ian, a day of pomp and circumstance, but a day that is just day one as the Patriots start a new era.
The last thing that Mike Vrabel said on the podium was, "It's time to go to work. Let's get to work." There's plenty of work to do here with the New England Patriots in terms of rebuilding the team, setting a culture and identity, and eventually winning football games. Of course, he said he eventually wants to win the AFC East and host playoff games in this building at Gillette Stadium. But first things first, he wants to be able to overcome bad football on the other side of the field, and that's something that he's not sure the Patriots can do right now. So a lot of work to do ahead for Mike Vrabel.
We'll show you some of the sights and sounds, if we're not already seeing them here, from the introduction of Mike Vrabel as the new head coach. And he talks about those things, Ian, because he had success. He saw it here as a player, a three-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots during the early wave of the dynasty. And accountability, getting entitlement out of the building. Those were the sorts of things we heard from Mike Vrabel today.
Absolutely. And in terms of setting the culture, setting the tone, again, we've talked about it before, but when he walks in the room, he has the presence about him that NFL players can relate to. He's been in their shoes. He can relate to them. He cares for them in a way that not a lot of coaches can see. And he's been to the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. He's been traded. He's been a free agent. He's been coach of the year. He's been fired. He's seen this game from all angles.
And after his introduction, his formal introduction today, Ian Steele and I had a chance to speak with Mike Vrabel off to the side about accountability and bringing that success back, reliving that here in Foxborough. Here's what the new head coach of the Patriots had to say. As a player, and a player that was here, how much do you sort of want to mirror the culture that you had that led you to success as a player?
Right. And nothing is ever the same, right? No year is ever the same. And trying to say that we're going to recreate that, they're going to have different players and different personalities on the team. And at some point, the players have to be able to hold each other accountable. I am more than willing and capable and available to do that. And probably will do that a little bit more here at the beginning.
Mike, you helped raise 3 of those banners over there.
Yep.
How much does that continue to fuel you?
Well, I think that the fuel will always be in me, but I think that the blueprint and what it takes, those are a great reminder of the effort and the sacrifices that it takes to get there. And it's not easy.
Taking attendance from who was at Mike Vrabel's introductory press conference, Drake May was not there, but 2 team captains, Joe Cardona and David Andrews, taking in the message, and those are the guys that the accountability starts with. Then it'll trickle down into the rest of the locker room.
In terms of the front office, Ian, Elliott Wolf was in attendance, mentioned multiple times by the new head coach, Mike Vrabel. We also heard multiple reports today that Ryan Cowden, who's an executive with the New York Giants currently, worked with Mike Vrabel in the past. He will be joining the Patriots front office, reportedly, and so that means there'll be another voice here as Mike Vrabel and some new voices come in to try to build that next roster, but retaining personnel power is Elliott Wolf as well.
On the roster as of now, long snapper, team captain Joe Cardona. As we mentioned, he was at Mike Vrabel's introductory press conference and heard the message that his new head coach has for the rest of the team.
When you're a veteran player like yourself, how much do you want to help a new head coach establish that accountability culture that Mike was talking about?
As a veteran player, I think the first thing I got to do is make sure I earn, the opportunity to do that. My goal is to earn the trust of my teammates and my coaches. Whether I've done that for 10 years or whether I'm freshly stepping in the building, that's my ultimate goal.
And Joe's a guy that's been here for a decade, Ian, so he played for Bill Belichick. Obviously, Mike Vrabel played for Bill Belichick here. And there were some other guys that were in the house today that played for Bill Belichick and have won Super Bowls as well, including a guy like Troy Brown, who was a teammate of Mike Vrabel's, Ian. And they all have some great stories from those days, and they know what success looks like, though.
Bill Belichick himself said during Mike Vrabel's induction into the Patriots Hall of Fame just a couple of years ago, just how much of a competitor Mike Vrabel was on the practice field. He would play scout team against Tom Brady, and as Troy Brown takes us back in the Wayback Machine, takes us inside those practices. Here's Troy Brown, former Patriots wide receiver, on the Patriots coaching staff, talking about those back and forths between Tom Brady, the GOAT, and the new head coach of the Patriots in Mike Vrabel.
We heard about some of the legendary battles that he and Brady had in practices and whatnot. Anything you remember?
Oh, it was a lot of great battles. I mean, he probably won the majority of them, and he didn't let him forget about it. And Tommy would get a little ticked off, and but he would keep talking. And that's just who he is.
And that's who Mike Vrabel is, really, as Troy Brown said. And in terms of accountability as a player, you think about those battles that he had with Tom Brady. He wasn't afraid to challenge Bill Belichick as a coach as well. And I think that's the sort of thing that Mike Vrabel is going to bring as a head coach. You're smiling.
He's a chop buster.
Yeah.
In all of the interviews he did today, we saw the personality come out. I'm sure we'll see it in press conferences moving forward. And also, we asked him about when he was inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. He said, at the 50-yard line behind us here at Gillette Stadium, looked at the fans and said, appreciate what you have. It's not like this everywhere. And now it's Mike Vrabel's job to bring that back here to Foxborough.
It's brought Mike Vrabel back as the new head coach of the New England Patriots. That's your look at sports here from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. He's Ian Steele. I'm Nick Coy. We'll have more news coming up after the break.